Okay, good afternoon all. Shall we start the class? I think now still that your friends are joining. I think, okay, until they join, can you see the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, these are the questions that the last day we discussed. Okay, when you consider this the number 13, then here we wanted to find the equivalent resistance of the circuit. Then after that, this branch currents and voltage across those resistors. Okay. Here, when we do this one, we use this current dividing rule and voltage dividing rule to find the answers. And today we will discuss similar type of questions, maybe one or two. Then after that, we can discuss a different type of questions later on. Here, do we have any question regarding this problem so far we have discussed? Right. Okay, then. Okay, shall we try this one? Like that at the moment, nearly 60 students have logged here. Anyway, shall we start now? Now with this problem, again, it's not a difficult question. Then we have to find voltage in between this point A and B, VAB. In this case, you have to find point voltage here and point voltage here. And you can take the difference between these 2 points. Then it will be VAB. Shall we take a couple of minutes and try this? Okay, here, you know that when we consider this node, and this node, then across these two nodes, the 40-volt power is applied. Then across these 2 points, we have 40 volts. Then this 40 volt is applied across these 2 points, then we can find voltage across this resistor. Okay, if we take it as VR3, then applying voltage divider rule, we can write VR3 equal to 40 volts to 200 ohms, and then 50 ohms plus 200 ohms. Okay, then this is 250. Okay. Got it. Okay. Then 32 volts. Then this one we can find this is VR4. Actually, this is VR3. VR3 means that this is VB. Then VR4 is again 40 volts. This is 300 ohms. And this is This is 30 volts and this is VA. VAB means VA minus VB. Then it's minus 2 volts. Is it okay? Okay, if you are okay with previous one, this one, there is no problem. You can try this one. Here again, we have to find VAB, but the difference, only the difference between this question and previous question. Here, this question, we have this Rx is a variable. One time Rx is 0. Then it may be 15K. And next time it's infinite resistance, open circuit. Okay. Then you have to work out 3 times to find answers for VAB. Okay, this is our diagram. Okay, initially Rx is 0, it's short circuit. Then initially this is short circuit. The meaning is here then we have to find this voltage here, it's VB, and voltage here, it's VA. Okay. If you find the voltage across this resistor, VR3, that is VA. Okay. Then VR3, VA equals 10 volts times R3 resistor, it's 200 ohms. It's 50 plus 200 ohms, 50 ohms plus 200 ohms. Then 2000, and this is 250. It's 8 volts. Then in this case, VB, in this case, VB is and here it's VB. VB now it's 0. Why? This side, this is 0 volts. So this here, this side is 10 volts. Okay, then now VB RX is short circuited. Because of that, VB is 0. Then we can find VAB, that is VA minus VB is 8 volts. This is RX equals 0. And this one, RX equals 15K. There, we have this 15K resistor added here. Now for VA, there is no difference. That is previous value. It's 8 volts. But VB is 10 volts times 15K divided by 5K plus 15K. This is 150. It's 20. Then VAB, VA minus VB is 0.5 volts. Now, in this case, RX is infinite resistance, it's open circuit. Here, VA is previous value, it's 8 volts. But what about VB? Here we have to find VA. Here this one is VB. What about VB? But you know that the current going through this branch is 0. Then, if there is no current going through this resistor, the meaning is there is no voltage difference in between this and the other end. Across the resistor, there is no voltage drop. Then, whatever the voltage we have here, it's 10 volts. We have it this side also. Then VB is 10 volts. Then VAB, VA minus VB minus 2 volts. If you're okay with that, any question? Anything? We can try this question if you don't have any thing coming from the previous question. This one, in this question, the major difference between this question and the all previous other questions, there we had voltage source, but here in this case with this problem we have only current source. Okay, when you have voltage source like this, for example, when you have voltage source like this, it provides 10 volts, but 10 volts the battery. Okay, then what do we know about this battery? It can supply 10 volts to the circuit. That's what we know. Then after that, if you want to find the current, then you have to calculate the components and the effects of those components. Then you can find the current taken from the battery. And the internally it might have a resistance also, but we are not going to say anything about the current going out and the internal resistance of this one. But here also the same thing. These devices are current sources. They can provide current to the circuit, whatever the direction it has shown. Okay, this is the current source. It can provide 10 milliampere current, and it's going this way. This is another current source. Its capability is 30 milliampere. It can deliver 30 volts milliampere to the circuit. But we don't know about the voltages of these devices, but we don't care. But anyway, we have to find V. V means voltage across any of these devices. If you find here, if this is V, this V is there, across this one V is there, across this resistor V is there. Okay, then you can find V for whatever the places. You can apply whatever the theorems you are knowing, then try to find the voltage across any of these devices. Okay, have you tried this one? How can you find this? Okay, then shall we take this current as I1? Then here you have I1 plus 10 milliampere current. Okay, then we can take this current as I2. Okay, then one equation we can write considering this node. Considering this node, we can write 30 milliampere is the incoming current. 30 milliampere is equals I1 plus 10 milliampere plus I2. Okay. Then this gives us then I1 plus I2 equals 20 milliampere. This is equation 1. Is it okay? Okay. Here through this resistor, you can take this current going through is I1. Then when you consider this node, 10 milliampere current is going this way and this one, then incoming current of this node is I1 plus 10 milliampere. Then when you consider this node, we taking current going through this 1 kilo ohm resistor as I2, then we can consider this current is 30 milliampere. Then 30 milliampere current, this one equals to this I2 plus I1 plus 10 milliampere. Then I1 plus I2 equals 20 milliampere. Okay. Then for V, we can write equation considering this V equals I2 times 1K. This is second equation. And again, we can write another equation to this one also, because here also the voltage across this resistor is V. Then we can write another equation for V considering this 250 ohm resistor. V equals I1 times 250 ohms. And this is third equation. Then from this we get I2 plus 1000 equals I1 plus 250. Okay, then this side, we can take I1 equals I2 750. And from 1, we can substitute I2 value. I2 is 20. We can rearrange this equation. I2 equals 0.02 minus I1.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes. Something
Sir,
wrong?
yes, sir. When you equate 2 and 3, it's I2 multiplied, right? Not plus, no?
Sorry, which one?
Sir, when you equate
Yes.
equation.
Sorry. Thank you very much.
Okay.
It's 3 I2 into 1000, right?
Yes, okay. Thank you. then we can find V. Consider the 250 ohm resistor. It's 4 volts. Okay, thank you very much for pointing out that mistake. Okay, with this question, you have one voltage source and one current source. Then we have to find IL going through this load resistor, RL. The load resistor is 16 ohm RL. Then we have the two sources. One is current source and one is voltage source. Shall we try this type of question? Okay, shall we try this one? We have to find this current IL, and we don't know the current coming from this battery, but when we consider this node, this direction we have IL, and this direction we have I. Then this current should be IL plus I. I means that I is 2 ampere. Two amperes. Okay, then we can write equation considering this external loop is 20 volts and then 24 ohms time IL plus 2 ampere, and then this one 16 ohm times IL. Okay, this is 20, 24 IL plus 48, then this is 16 IL. Okay, then okay. This is minus 44, then 25 here. Is it correct? 20 volts, 24, 24 IL, 24 is 48, 16, sorry, 16 IL. 16 IL. Then minus 28, 40 IL. IL is minus 28 divided by 40. Minus 0.7 amperes. Okay, then, okay, I see that the previous question, so shouldn't that we take I1 into 250, I2 into 1000, I1 into 250, I2 into 1000. Yes, that's okay. Then why do you take I2 plus 1000? Okay, the same question. How can the current travel in opposite direction in this question, this one? Because it can be, we don't know that actually that the effect of this one, this 2 ampere current is going this direction, then at the end the final current IL may be negative. It doesn't matter. Okay, if you mark the actual current values, and this one, in this direction we have 2 ampere, and in this direction we have 0.7 amperes, 2 amperes, 0.7 amperes, and then because of that, this one 1.3 amperes. The green color values, that we know these values after the calculation. In this case, this 2 ampere current source is a little bit powerful. Is it okay? Anything, any question regarding the problems so far we have discussed, and the theorems and the laws we have used to find the different answers of these questions? Anything, any question? Okay, if you don't have any question, now we are going to discuss a different theorem. Okay, then, for example, when we have questions like this one, this question, and maybe especially this type of question, here we work out this one 3 times to find the answer. Okay, likewise, but we are going to learn a different theorem, new theorem now. And with this theorem, that we can easily do these type of calculations. First of all, that we can try to understand it. We can write down this theorem. Then after that, we can discuss it, how we are going to use this one for our calculations. Thevenin's theorem, I think you can see the screen. This Thevenin theorem says us, but when you have a complicated network, any bilateral network means that when you have that a network having couple of branches like that, all these things can be simplified into a circuit something like this. With this circuit, you have only one resistor and one voltage source. Okay. For example, if you have a maybe circuit like this, something like this, and this one is V1, this is R1, R2, R3, R4. Sometimes that if you have here also, you can have a different voltage source, V2, a complicated circuit. Okay. Then this circuit is having these two nodes, and we will discuss this one, how can we take this type of open ones. But when you have this type of circuit, okay, we can simplify this circuit into this type of simple circuit containing only one voltage source. This we can say it's voltage, Thevenin voltage, and one resistor, it's Thevenin resistor, and after that these two ends. So instead of this complicated circuit, you can have a simplified version of that. But remember, this one is a representation. It's not a real thing. But this RTH is not a real resistor. This VTH is not a real voltage source. But you can reduce this one. You can simplify this complicated diagram into this type of simple one. Then if you have that type of such thing, then what you can do, assume that you have resistor here, and if you want to find current going through this one, then you can introduce this resistor here. Then you can find very easily current going through this one, why you have only these two resistors. Then I equals VTH divided by RTH, and this R3, if you say it's R4, RTH plus R4. That's it. Other than this red color one, the red color resistor, the entire other part of the circuit can be reduced, can be simplified into this type of diagram. This Thevenin's theorem says us how to do that. Okay. Can you have a small note this one? But practically, I'll explain you how to do this one. But to have a complete note, then you can write it down. And the diagrams I have drawn here, it is not necessary to draw in your case, but I'll draw this one again in the Word document. Then it is not necessary to draw this part, but other than that, you can write it down this one. Okay. It says that any bilateral network may be reduced to simplified two-terminal circuit consisting of single voltage source and a single resistor. The next two slides shows us, show us that how we can reduce this one to a single resistor and single voltage source. Okay. First thing, identify and remove the load. Identify and remove the load from the circuit. Label the result in two terminals A and B, like I did the previous one. Here. This one AB. And sometimes you might not understand what this text says, but we'll do this one. In third bullet point, it says that set all sources in the circuit to 0. Voltage sources we can set to 0 by short circuiting it. But if you have current source, we can set the effect to 0 by opening the circuit. Okay. Here, if it is a voltage source, we have to short circuit it. If it is a current source, we have to open circuit it. Then effect should be 0. Okay, this is the way how to find this question is asked us, what about earthing? Where can we use that? Which question you are referring? For any question, yeah, when I go to the Word document, I'll show you. Just note this one down. And this is the way to find the VTH value. And don't write this part. Okay. This theorem says us Thevenin says us if you have a circuit something like this, Okay, this is V, and this is I, this is R1, R2, R3, R4 like that. Okay, and assume that we want to find current going through this R4 resistor. Okay, that is the question we are having. Then we have one voltage source, one current source, and 4 resistors there. But we want to find current going through this R4 resistor. Then what we are going to do, we actually identify the component, this one, this R4, because the current is going through this R4, then because of that we are selecting R4 the component. Then we label these two nodes, A and B. Okay. Then after that, the balance of the circuit, this one. Then what we are going to do is we are going to remove this component. After removing that, this is the circuit we are having. Okay. Then we will reduce this circuit to this type of circuit. And these are the nodes. And this is the new resistor we have, RTH and VTH. We can replace this entire part of the circuit, this complicated circuit, by using single resistor RTH, R Thevenin, and single voltage source like this. It's a very simple circuit, one voltage source and one current source, one resistor. Sorry. Then after that, what we can do, after simplifying this one, you can reintroduce the removed component, this one here. Now R4, then we can find current going through it. Then I equals VTH divided by RTH plus R4. Okay. The steps are, first we have to identify two nodes and remove that component from the circuit. For the balance of the circuit, this one, we have to find this Thevenin resistor value and Thevenin voltage source value. After that, you can redraw the circuit, this simplified circuit like this. Then you can add the previously removed component to the circuit. Then based on that, you can find sometimes that voltage across this component, current going through it like that. You can find all these things. This is how Thevenin says us to simplify the circuits. Okay, we can try this problem, this one. For this question, we can apply Thevenin. Okay, using Thevenin's theorem, we can solve this one. Find IL. Okay, how can we do this one? And first, we identify the nodes of the component. Then we can identify this one as point A and this is point B, and we can remove this component and we can redraw the circuit by removing this one. And we have these two nodes. Okay. Now we are going to reduce this one to a circuit something like this. And to do that one, we should know this VTH and RTH. Now next steps are, we are going to find this RTH and VTH values. Okay. To do that, we are redrawing the circuit again. And don't think that the drawing again of this circuit is a time waste. But without drawing it again, you might do certain mistakes. Okay. To minimize that mistakes you are doing, you can redraw the circuit. Okay. Then after that, to find RTH, what we are going to do, you can short circuit this current source and you can open circuit this one. Okay. As a result, what we are having is, when we short circuit this one, it's short circuit one. And this is node A and this is node B. And here it's short circuit. And this is 24 ohm resistor. And from this one it's short circuit. Then nothing else. Okay. Then by looking at this end, we have to find RTH. Now what is RTH? It's 24. We have only this one because we have to open circuit. When we open circuit that one, then there is no current source. But when we short circuit this one, there is no voltage source also. Now we know RTH value. Now we know RTH. Now we have to find VTH. How can we find VTH? VTH is the open circuit voltage across VAB. Then this is VTH. Okay. Then shall we find VAB? Then we can mark the current. But hereafter you can use normal theorem. And this is the current going through this one, but it's 2 ampere. So this is the loop, and we don't know we haven't connected anything here. Because of that, there is no current on these branches. Then we can write equation 20 volts equals 24 ohms into And in this case, we can't write Kirchhoff voltage law applying this loop because we don't know anything about this one. But then you can take this one as, but you know, this is VAB. Okay. Then we can write this way, 20 volts equals 2 ampere into 24 ohms. And this is VAB. Okay. Twenty 48 plus VAB, then VAB equals minus 28 volts. Okay, and this is VTH. Then we can draw a circuit again. This is VTH. It's minus 28 volts. Then this resistor is 24 ohms like that. Here. RTH is 24 ohms. Okay, then we can introduce our remote component previously. It's 16 ohm. And we want to find this current IL. Okay, then IL equals minus 28 volts divided by 24 ohms plus 16 ohms. Then minus 28 divided by 40 amperes. And 28 divided by 40 is minus 0.7 ampere. And this is the answer we got from previous method. Okay. And this is how this Thevenin theorem can be used to find different parameters of the circuit. When the circuit is complicated, you can reduce the part of the circuit, identifying a certain component. You can isolate, you can remove that component from the circuit. Then for the balance of the circuit, you can find Thevenin equivalent circuit. After finding the Thevenin equivalent circuit, it will be converted into the very easy situation, and we can add a previous component again. Then you can find whatever the current going through it or the voltage across it or whatever the thing, you can do it later. You can do it later. And it will be very easy. And when you apply these Thevenin theorems to this type of circuits. Okay, any question? Anything? Until you ask question, and even until you find any question that the previous problem you raised in the chat, and how can we earth these type of circuits? Actually, this side you can consider it as earth. This is 0 volts. Okay. The negative side of battery is the 0 volts with respect to this terminal. This one is having 20 volts more than that. Okay. Any previous circuit, this one also. If you have such circuit, most of the time, the negative side of the battery you can take as 0 volts, earth terminal. Okay, the next week we will discuss the questions based on the Thevenin's theorem. Sharfa, that your question about earthing, is it okay? Okay, then any question, anything else? Okay, if you don't have anything else, any other question, shall we finish the class today? The next day we can discuss how to solve these type of problems using Thevenin's theorem. Okay, thank you very much for your participation, and take care of yourself. Stay safe.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.
Thank you, sir.